Every day, you access information on your phone, like reading the news, purchasing goods and services, or communicating with friends over social media. But how is all this information transferred behind the scenes? Your favourite websites and apps probably use APIs. And as a web developer, you will discover that APIs are developer friendly, easily accessible, and a very valuable and useful development tool. API is the acronym for Application Programming Interface. An API is a set of functions and procedures for creating applications that access the features or data of an operating system, application, or other service. If this still sounds a bit vague, just remember that the term API is intentionally open to many applications and use cases. As a web developer, a lot of the day-to-day job involves working with APIs. Some common APIs that web developers work with include Browser API, REST API, and Sensor-based API. Over the next few minutes, you'll explore each of these API types and review a few specific examples. To begin with, here's a brief outline of how APIs function. In software development, APIs are often the bridge between different components or systems. This earns them names like gateway or middleware. The term is used widely to represent many different tools and systems. Let's consider some examples of different API use cases. One common type of API is browser or web APIs, which are built into the browser itself. They extend the functionality of the browser by adding new services and are designed to simplify complex functions and provide easy syntax for building advanced features. A good example is the DOM API. The DOM API turns the HTML document into a tree of nodes that are represented as JavaScript objects. Another example is the geolocation API that returns coordinates of where the browser is located. There are also other APIs available for fetching data, known as Fetch API, drawing graphics or Canvas API, keeping history or History API, and client-side storage, also known as Web Storage API. Another critical type of API for web development is the RESTful or REST API. This kind of API provides data for popular web and mobile apps. These are also called web servers. Let's explore REST in a bit more detail. REST, or Representational State Transfer, is a set of principles that help build highly efficient APIs. One of the main responsibilities of these kinds of APIs is sending and receiving data to and from a centralized database. We can query our own REST API or third-party ones. One last type of API that you might encounter as a web developer is a sensor-based API. This is what the Internet of Things, also known as IoT, is based on. These are actual physical sensors that are interconnected with each other. The sensors can communicate through API and track and respond to physical data. Some examples are Philips Hue smart lights and NodeBots. That's a lot of APIs to think about. Fortunately, for web developers, the most common data API is a RESTful API, which, as you've learned, is a web server that provides responses to requests. These API web servers are designed to provide the data backbone for a web client like a web page or mobile app. This means that these APIs must be able to accomplish things like getting data or GET, creating data, also referred to as POST, updating data or PUT, and deleting data or DELETE. APIs use REST principles and good design practices to create discoverable interfaces. This helps us get the exact response expected. But exactly how do they work? Here's a closer description of their activity. These APIs use endpoints to specify how different resources can be accessed. The endpoint is built into the URL when accessing the API. Once the endpoint is hit, the API performs whatever server-side processing is needed to build the response. Two common forms of response are full web pages, a data form based on JavaScript called JSON. In this video, you explored some APIs, and as a web developer, you will frequently work with many different types of APIs. You will often use APIs to extend the abilities of systems or to act as a bridge between different components.